Dr. Jessie Sanders, owner and chief veterinarian of Aquatic Veterinary Services. I am also the author of the newly published book, How to Kill Your Koi. Today we'll be discussing Chapter 3, Koi Pond Water Quality. So this chapter is based on the myth that my water looks clean, so I don't need to test it. Well, if you've seen our other video, I actually take two exactly the same looking water samples, one from my tap, one from my fish tank, and do a taste test. Even though they look the same, they are definitely not the same. So in this chapter, we cover what you need to test, how often you need to test, and why you test your different parameters. Starting off with our nitrogen cycle. So this is very important in breaking down the fish primary waste of ammonia, which comes from eating all that protein, into nitrite and then nitrate. And it's very important that you test each of these levels. We'll also go through testing your pH, your carbonate alkalinity, also known as your KH, and your GH, or total hardness. So let's put this straight. There is no one perfect pH your koi has to be at. Trying to maintain a 7.0 here in California is pretty much impossible unless you have a very, very large RO filter, can put all the water filter parameters back in, and it's just not worth the effort. So here, our tap water is going to be 8, 8.5, and that's perfectly fine for koi. They do just fine with that for years. I saw a 34-year-old koi that has been an 8.0 water her entire life. She's fine. So pH, try to keep it consistent. Again, that's going to be important with your KH and your GH, which are similar, but not quite. There's a link below telling you a little bit more about the relationship between your pH, your KH, and your GH. So how do you test your water? Well, the best available product on the market isn't great, but make sure you use a liquid-based test kit, so the one that comes in those little bottles, you know the one, and forget those silly strips. Using strips to test your water is pretty much the equivalent of looking at it. It's not really going to give you great results. So if you're first starting out, we recommend that you test your water weekly. After things are fairly consistent, you can go every other week. And then at minimum, you want to be testing at least once a month. And please write down your values. Do not expect to remember them into the future. So we actually have a table for writing everything in our book resources and a downloadable sheet in addition to that. So that's all about your koi water quality. We'll have some links below, including reference ranges, test kits that we have available to recommend, and we hope that your fish are happy and healthy. Thank you so much. For help with your fish, please visit the American Association of Fish Veterinarians at fishvets.org or the World Aquatic Veterinary Medical Association at wavma.org.